we have a ton of confidence in the division. We have a ton of confidence in our players. We got to go out and do it. I like the tone around our team, and we're unafraid to talk about winning, but we're not going to leave it there. We got to go do the work.
It's FT Live. It's Braun and Todd Father together. Kratz is there. And AJ Przynski, why don't you welcome our first guest of the day?
He is the manager of the Lakeland Flying Tigers here in Tigertown.
That's right.
AJ Hinch, he's a former World Series champion manager, and now he's in Tigertown trying to get the boys ready to win the AL Central.
I am.
Love that, man.
So how's that going? AJ, how you doing, man? Great to see you. How's camp so far?
You got to be a little. You got to like call me something else because we're gonna be like, wait,
damn
which
it.
one?
Okay.
It'd be way easier if you were here, but there's only one of you here. So
what do you want? Like, if
I want a whole travel group.
But I mean, what do you want for a name? Like, can I just say Hinch then?
No, that's disrespectful.
How about Skip? That's disrespectful.
All right, Skip.
There you go.
Skip. How's camp? And a lot of fans already in our chat here, like, how's the first Miggy-less Tigers camp in a very long time?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's different without Miggy. I mean, Miggy's been here for decades. And so he was the life of spring for so many Tiger fans and the players, even our young kids that are here. I mean, they've known nothing different, other than Miggy. So we're still hoping he makes an appearance here. He's got a huge place in our franchise. But some guys are growing up. They're having to take on some of those responsibilities, whether it's the fun-loving side or the super serious side. As a team matures and Miggy goes into retirement, we're starting to see sort of some younger guys blossom into those leaders and presence in the clubhouse.
You talk about some of the younger guys, and you're talking about what the difference is right now in camp. Let me ask you this. What is the mindset? And, you had that first conversation with the squad the other day when spring started. You had the whole group there. What's the goal and the mindset you want to get across to at least these young players and the new team that you got going on right now in spring?
Yeah, so we like where we're headed. We like the finish that we had. We like the fact that we won every season series against our division last year. Nice little flurry at the end, I think 19-10 to get into second place, which gets you nothing until you're in the playoffs. And so there's been a little bit of buzz that we're trending in the right direction. I love it. And I hear our players talking about winning. I think our players talking about the division. All that's cool. We just have to go out and do the work. So the tone that I'm trying to set with these guys is, hey, you can talk about it all you want, but you got to pave a way and do your part to add to it. And so we're doing a ton of work. We like where we're headed, but you got to win your first game before you start talking like, you're going to win a division or that you're going to factor in. Like, we haven't had a winning April in my time here. So, like, as kind of what you guys would probably expect, like, I'm trying to get them super focused on what we have to do today, and then we'll get to the games here in April.
By the way, well, my main thing is, how do you keep – we got Mize on the mound today here, right? We got Scooble coming on later. I think he's pitching tomorrow. Yep. Matt Manning's had some injury problems, right? How do you keep these guys healthy and right? Yeah. Because when they're right, I mean, these 5 guys, these 6 guys, whatever, can be as good as anybody. So what's the thinking of how do we keep – because Scooble's one of the nastiest dudes I've ever seen. How do you keep these guys healthy and ready?
It's like bubble wrap. Like, you got to put them in bubble wrap as soon as they – Scooble's throwing 99 the other day in a live BP session. Was pretty competitive with the boys. Riley Green, we had him order a red jersey, the quarterback jersey, the non-contact.
No contact. He's playing the outfield today.
He's playing outfield today, so that'll be huge. But we do need to get to the finish line of spring as healthy. Now, we're entering camp as healthy as we've been. We got to get there for the season. The good part is that the organization's built some depth. We have some choices. We do have the next layer of guys that are getting better and better to where if we do have, and we're going to have injuries, and every team does. Yeah. We need our boys to be ready to go in April, and so we're using them in the spring accordingly.
What does today, February 27th, look like compared to?
We're just gonna. I'm gonna imagine what Kratz's question is. He's jealous.
Oh, you guys can't hear him? Can you hear us?
Because those hats are sweet with just the tiger on them.
Here's the thing, Kratzy. I'll send you one if you wear it forward with the tiger logo. Facing forward. You don't put the tiger on the back. No, you're connected.
That's fair. Przynski, can you hear us?
Riley Green's playing today. Torkelson. You basically have your opening close to your opening day lineup, right? So I saw Canna taking ground balls at first. Is he going to play first base this year? Or
Not today. Yeah, Torque is going to get. He played 159 at 60 games last year with a DH spot opening with Miggy retired, and we're going to spread the wealth a little bit. And so he'll DH a few times. So we'll, one of the things about me, I want to practice everything. Like I want to account for every scenario. So you'll see some random things in the spring if you follow us closely where guys are doing different things just to get ready for the season. But I would say Canada's going to play a few games there. Gio Urshela, who we just signed, is going to play both corners, maybe a little bit of second. I move guys all around. So it's just a way to give me the options during the game to make whatever decision to try to score more runs.
We got to talk about your second baseman.
It's a beast.
It's the biggest second baseman I've ever seen in my life. Colt Keith, you guys already signed him, locked him up. I told Joey Corey he'd have to play on the JV team now because he was a former second baseman. He's like 5'7", 140. Colt Keith's like 6'5".
Yeah.
I mean, where'd you find
Colt's
this guy?
Big kid. No,
where'd
big
you find
kid.
this guy?
Yeah, exactly. He's hit his way to the big leagues, and he's knocking on the door. We've kind of dangled the carrot with him that he needs to make our team. He's got a hit in each game so far that he's played in. Like he could really hit, and he takes it personal when guys start talking about his defense. And so Joey's been out every morning with him. Colt's really lucky to have Joey. He's gonna crush him in the spring. He's gonna get him to make the average play consistently, which will keep him on the field. We don't want a 22-year-old DH. Like he's somebody that we want to keep on the field, and I think he can do it. So that he's got to do his part. We haven't named him to the team yet. The organization invested in him. He invested in his future, and he should be calm this spring because of that security. And we hope that allows him to maybe transition to the big leagues faster with the bat and not put so much pressure on himself and just fit in like the rest of them. He doesn't have to carry us, but he's carried every team that he's played on. And he's got some guys like Riley and Torque and Carp and guys that have broken in with similar fanfare. And for him, he's just got to lean on those guys.
Okay, so who's your closer? Is it going to be Lang, you
think? It's a competition. I mean, Alex is the most experienced of that group. Jason Foley has the stuff for it. Chafin and Shelby Miller are both going to want those innings at the back end. Will Vest has sort of quietly had a pretty good run here. So I haven't named anybody yet. I like having different options until I kind of tell guys I'll use you the way that'll prove to you what you are. Alex got the most save opportunities last year, lost the designation for about a month, and then regained it with better control. So I like dangling that carrot.
Understood.
Don't quite give it away yet.
You did that with Keith. Now you're doing that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay, so you guys have Hall of Famers all over this camp, right? You have. I saw Trammell today.
Tramp's here. Yep.
Leland's here.
Leland's here.
You made Jim Leland go to Baltimore today.
He chose that.
And you're staying here. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
Like
so
he's
Hall
supposed
of
to stay
Famers
here.
Don't get highlighted. I told Tram, you'll never see your name highlighted, but you can go wherever you want. Jim Leland lives down in Sarasota, so he's no dummy. He's like, I'm just going to go out of my house and roll right over to the ballpark. So, I joke about bossing people around. Like I would boss you around if you were in my camp.
That's fine.
But I would never do that to Tram and Leland. Miggy's going to be the same. If he comes here as a special assistant, he's going to roll where he wants to.
Okay, yeah. Because when I text Leland, I'm like, hey, are you? Because I heard he was here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in Sarasota. I'm like, wait, Hinch sent.
That's a subtle
I was
way
like,
for him to say he's got Leland's number and he can go right to the
well,
so good.
Well, when he played against him for 10,000 games, it feels like, and I watched him throw PP in his underwear in the cages in Chicago. It's a little bit scary.
Hey,
What's your
Pierzynski.
favorite part of spring?
I think the bookends. I like the beginning. Like I like standing in front of a team for the first time.
I want to know how finish, and then I want to hear how your meetings go.
Yeah, so I like the first time, and I like at the very end. And it's when those are tough decisions. Those are grinders. Let's call it 5 to 10, like really tough conversations on guys on the bubble. And then when it's over, and you're taking a team north, like that's pretty cool. So like both of those, like entering camp, exiting camp. My two favorite times for different reasons, because that means that at the beginning, optimism, everybody's happy, nobody's sore yet, nobody's mad yet, and at the other end, man, you are taking a team north, and you're going to go get to compete for real. And those two are my favorites. And there's a lot of action in between. There's a lot of meetings in between. There's a lot of banter in between. but you can't beat the front end and the back end.
Okay, so what's your meeting like when you came into Tigers camp 2024?
The first one.
Has it changed since your first camp as a manager? And then are you like a clipboard guy with like the notepad and you have notes?
No.
You have note cards? You take your hat off and have the cards in the No, you just because you went to Stanford, so
roll with it,
I'm super smart and I went to Stanford, so I don't need note cards. Is that
well? I'm at my best when I just start rolling. You know, my mind never stops, so I got a ton of stuff on my mind that I want to share with them. You know, I'll do some fun stuff in the morning during camp to try to break up. We'll have a rule of the day, and I'll start messing with guys on if they know the rules of infield fly rule, or they'll have the we did different different ways the game will kind of lead you to need to know more about it. So, but the first meeting overall, I don't tell any first year managers, it's like, get your point across and get them on the field. Like, they don't really want to hear 75 people get introduced and then some lecture. But you do every day as a manager want to give them something to think about the rest of the day. And at the beginning of camp, it's about the message for the camp. But every single day, if you can drop a little nugget in there, something simple like a play that happens in the game where you can highlight something or poke fun at somebody or lighten the mood a little bit, it starts the day off pretty well.
Pierzynski, you hear us?
What do you think? Scott, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
I think Scott's back. All right, so they want to know the division.
Wait, no?
Obviously the division is the White Sox kind of rebuild, right? The Royals spend money. You guys spend some money. Twins kind of are not spending money. And Cleveland is just kind of stands pat every year. So you guys have to love your chances in this division.
Yeah. No, we like our team, and we like the fact that we can do some things to enhance our chances to win the division. I mean, if you want to win the division, you got to beat your division. We did that last year. We just didn't play well enough against a lot of the rest of the league to get over 500. So, I think we have a ton of confidence in the division. We have a ton of confidence in our players. We got to go out and do it. Like, I don't like teams that talk about it before they do it. Like, go be about it and go get your work done, and then they'll tally up the wins at the end of the year. If you have enough, you win the division. If you don't, you have something to build on. But I like the tone around our team, and we're unafraid to talk about winning, but we're not going to leave it there. We got to go do the work.
AJ Hinch, you got me?
I got you.
Nice. Okay. Fans asking about Joe Espada and how you think he's going to do this year and what kind of conversations you've had now that he's finally, got his chance to show everyone what he can do as a manager.
Yeah, no, I love Joe. I just saw him yesterday. I joked with him. He's 0-1 against me as a manager. So even spring training, I never count spring training unless it's in my advantage. He's a born baseball guy, baseball IQ, players type guy, attention to detail, like all the things I wanted in a bench coach. He delivered. Communication style, and now he's just been waiting for an opportunity, and he got it with a team that he knows really well and that has set a high standard for winning the last 10 years. So I'm pumped for him. I think he's going to be a really good communicator. I think he's going to have a ton of attention to detail. He's worked in and around, under and around a ton of different styles of managers. He's got to find his own way. But I'm a text thread away or a call away. We've talked quite a bit since he got named manager, and I'm happy for him because he was passed over a handful of times before he got this opportunity. But that's just been the reasoning behind the teams, not his qualifications. So this has been in the works for a while, and he gets a chance to lead his team, and he's really good. And I expect good things from him.
I don't need that hat. I don't need that hat if you're going to make me wear it forward. And if I was in your camp, you wouldn't boss me around. I just want to make sure that's.
Now, wait a minute. So you were in my camp and you were on my team. And I remember you not being quite so bold about those terms when I actually controlled your playing time. Now that I control your playing time, you are definitely tougher now than you were a few years ago.
Way tougher. I'm a paper tiger for sure.
Hey, do you remember when he tripped?
Oh yeah.
When Kratz tripped?
Yeah. Yeah, he got paid for it.
Yeah, that's like the #1 video on TikTok of him falling down his face on opening day.
Yeah. No, I mean, I probably would have contributed that. If I didn't contribute to it, I should have. But.
Okay, so I have to ask you before we let you go. spring training the other day, the Yankees played someone who was, maybe it was here, it was 22-10 or something.
Yeah.
Like, as a manager, how do you sit through those games? Like, because I have this, people are like, hey, you know, they ask me, you want to manage? I'm like, I just don't know how you sit through a spring training game. It's the ninth inning. You got all number 98s, and I know they're prospects, and you want to see them. But there's times you got to look at like your bench coach and be like, what are we doing here?
That's a good day for George to learn how to manage. Those are crazy days in spring training. It usually happens in Arizona spring training. You don't get a lot of that in
although it blows out every day here.
It does, but they're big parks. It's not as dramatic, but man, they came in and we played a 4-hour spring training game with a clock, which was unheard of. I tell the media afterwards, I'm like, what year are we in? And those are hard because, you know, I try to put myself in the position of the players and those kids that are playing at the end, and they just want to make an impression. And it's sort of chaos. Everybody's like staring up at the sky, looking at the bird. Like, they want the game to end. I try to stay locked in as much as possible. I can't say that I enjoyed that day. That was not a lot to talk about. I did make, I tried to lighten it up a little bit the next day. The spring training is so random. So like any fans out there that worry about what their team's doing record wise, I can save you some stress and just say it's not the end of the world. You want to play winning style baseball, but there's a lot of randomness in baseball. So especially in the spring.
Well, go get him, AJ Hinch. Great to talk to you, dude. And yes, I will pile on. I freaking love those hats. Those hats are fire, and so do many others. So they're styling, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.